Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Her Wellness. I'm your host, Lynette Thomas, and my co-host is Lady J. And Let's Talk Her Wellness is here to empower women to heal and grow and thrive in every aspect of their lives. So, hello, Lady J. How are you? We are back and we are live. I feel
Yes,
like
we
it's
are.
been a long time, but we are here. How are you doing, Lady J?
I am doing excellent, sister. I don't know, do I say Happy New Year's, Happy 2025? Since it's been a little bit of time away, we're thrusted into the new year, and I'm super excited about the conversation that we're going to have. Girl, I've been doing excellent. Tell me what's been going on with you.
Well, let me tell you, before guys, we get into it because I'm excited. We are so excited to be back. We want to welcome all of our guests. We want to say happy Women's Month. I hope you women are out there celebrating yourselves and celebrating the history of powerful, amazing women. I am just loving the social media right now. Although we got so many things going on, we have women going on. I'm seeing all kinds of social gatherings. I'm seeing all kinds of events happening. And I think we are about a week and a half to 2 weeks away from spring. So I love all of the amazing things that we are about to spring forth with. And I am just loving this. But before we get started, ladies, we always have to know what is in your cup. What are you drinking? This is the time where we say, go and get your notebook. I hope it's a Let's Talk Her Wellness notebook. And if you have not gotten that notebook, it is on our page at www.letstalkerwellness.com. Go get your teacup, go get your journal, have a pen for all my note takers out there, because I always say the right information can change and save a life. And then we want you to go get a friend, go get a sister.
That's right.
Let's share the beauty of wellness. Share the beauty of wellness. We're not stingy on this page. This page is where we dive deep into all things health and healing living. We're here to empower, educate, and elevate your wellness journey one conversation at a time. So, what's in my cup? Forget about the train passing by, making all that noise. But what's in my cup is I love my cranberry juice, but it is not just the red cranberry juice. I'm drinking the white cranberry juice. And
Mm,
white
I love
cranberry
white
juice is
cranberry juice.
so good for all kinds of things. And what I did is, Jay, I love it with my crush ice, and I love it to simmer there, and I just sip on it. I don't even drink it like down. I just like to sip on that nice, refreshing drink that is good with antioxidants. It's very good for if you have any kind of urinary tract infections or anything like that. It is really powerful for that. It has plenty of vitamins in there for you. So that is in my cup. And listen, I got a cup that represents the woman, honey. Ain't nothing like the sisters, okay? And so, Lady J, what's in your cup, honey? As you know, you
Well,
keep some greatness in your cup.
yeah, honey, I'm double fisting today. So in my mug, which is queen, because I am a queen. I have my salsa water, which is inside of there, and then for my health and wellness, because we're coming back, I figured I needed to do something fancy and stick my pinky
Mm-hmm.
out a little bit. So, you know, your girl loved to keep her stem glasses. So, I found a perfect stem glass as we are kicking off our first episode in 2025. So,
Oh, I love it. Ooh, I'm
25,
loving that.
and
I'm
in
loving that.
inside of my cup, I have been this is it has green tea, and of course we know all of the health benefits of green tea. But I wanted to introduce something else, just the herbal girl in me. If you could see, I'm going to bring it close to the camera. There is a
Oh,
sprig
I love
of
rosemary.
rosemary.
Mm.
And this sprig of rosemary, I've had in about 32 ounces of filtered water, inside of this filtered water with a green tea bag that's just been allowing
Simmering.
for it to steep in throughout the day. I'm drinking it at room temperature. I am so excited because rosemary has anti inflammatory properties. It also helps with free radicals, oxidative stress. It allows for us to have a total wellness. And what I love most importantly, because you know I suffered with chronic inflammation, it
Yes.
aids and assists with chronic inflammation. So rosemary is the actual star today for me. I'm looking forward to just generating those health benefits. So cheers to everyone for 2025 as we continue to thrive, and happy Women's
Cheers.
Health Month.
Cheers. Cheers, ladies.
Speaking of Women's Health month, sister, I begin to think about as we are together in the month of March, and you were talking about how everywhere you look, you see the presence of women and how we are taking over the marketplace. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
super excited how I look around and I see, from C suites to businesses, there are women that are at the helm. And because
Yeah.
primarily what we do, we like to talk about health and wellness. We rarely talk about how some of the experiences that we have as women, that leads us to not just uncovering and discovering that word that starts with menopause, but
Mm-hmm.
today we get to celebrate that my co-host, the host of Let's Talk Our Wellness, is now officially an author of a book that is entitled Heal Her Menopause. I
Mm.
first got to celebrate with you, sister,
Oh my
because I
God.
know that this has been a labor of love.
Oh,
And
yeah.
whether you are 38 or 68, menopause starts to show up in our lives. So, the first question I asked to my author, since we
Mm-hmm.
keeping it real, what was
Mm.
your first moment when you realized that either you were in perimenopause or in menopause?
You know, it's so, that is such a question because I didn't know. For a very long time, I didn't know because I didn't have hot flashes. I didn't know. I knew that my body was experiencing something, but I didn't know what it was. And
Mm,
so it took me, and I'm pretty sure some women out there can relate with me. You know how you know something's going on with your body, and so you're going to this doctor, to that doctor, to this doctor until the doctors connect the dots. And so that's where I found myself. And it's also tricky when you have a symptom and you have this symptom every once in a while. It's
Mm,
it's not enough for you to say, okay, because come on, let's be honest. Most people don't go to the doctors until that symptom continuously keep happening. Now you're saying, okay, you know what? I need to go to the doctors and get this checked out. So for me, it went on for a long period of time because it would only show up every once in a while.
okay.
And because it wasn't hot flashes or anything like that, because when you think of menopause, come on, not many of us um, have a lot of information, and you're not going to get information when you're not dealing with that, right? And so a
Right.
lot of us don't get information on anything until it's in our face. And so it wasn't in my face, but then it started being in my face. But
Okay.
I didn't tie it to menopause because the problem was with my eyes. And so, I started with my general doctor first, and I
Okay.
was telling her that I was having some problems with my eyes. And although I was going to the eye doctor, I just felt like it was more physical than eye doctor. And so then, from there, I start going to an eye doctor specialist.
Okay.
So that they then sent me to a neurologist. So I'm like, why am I going to a neurologist? And so now they're checking my brain.
Mm,
Because I would have, one of my eyes would go dark for just a few seconds. And
okay.
then after that, I would have an excruciating headache.
Oh, wow.
So they called it a migraine, but it was a different type of migraine headache. So what they said was your eye, when your eye go black, it's letting you know and signaling you that you're going to get a headache. And so literally I would. And so after a couple of weeks, the neurologist said, Miss Thomas, this is menopause. I'm like, what? Menopause?
So
So
hearing that,
yeah.
right? Who would have thought a trip to the ophthalmologist would have led and connected you to menopause? So you were starting to tell us about how you were responding, getting that news. So talk to us a little
Mhm.
bit about that.
So I mean, I couldn't believe it because what does the eyes, as a practitioner, I understand, that you might be feeling pain in one area, but it doesn't mean that that's where that pain is stemming from.
Sure,
So
sure.
let's put the practitioner to the left, and I'm just a regular person now. So I'm just like, what does one got to do with the other? You know,
Right,
um, so I was like, I still wasn't believing it. So I said, okay, I'm going to make an appointment to my gynecologist.
right. Hmm.
And so I explained to my gynecologist what was going on. So she said, Lynette, let me for sure, because I can see you don't believe. She knew I was not. And she said, let me help you out. And she says, I'm going to take a test. We're going to do a blood test. And it's going
Right.
to tell me whether you're in menopause or not. And so, sure enough, she called me like a couple days later. She says,
Okay.
girl, you are in full blown menopause.
Oh, that
I'm
nasty
like,
word.
what? I said, oh no. I was feeling some kind of way because, you hear about menopause.
Right,
You,
right.
you know, you at one day it's gonna come, but it ain't something you waiting for. And I just would hear so many women, and just being in my practice, I would just see so many things in so many ways that women started to talk about menopause, and I would just literally see it happen in my hand.
Right.
I would just feel women. I can tell when they are having gone through the change, because their skin, everything just changed. And I say to them, I say, "You having a hot flash? You going through something right now?" They say, "Yes." How you know? Because their skin changed. I could feel the heat. I could feel that.
So as a therapist, you're
Yeah,
able to,
yeah. And so I just would see the different things, and it just made me curious, and I just started throwing myself into studying menopause and how are all of the ways that it affect us. And man, when I start diving into it, my mind was just blown away, because I said, this is deeper than we even know. you
I
know
agree. I
like,
agree.
what do we know about menopause? Like, what do you really know about it? And for some of us it's mild, and for some women it's severe.
Now, for so many women, part of this is taboo. You decided to take that thirst and create a book,
Yes.
Heal Her
Or
Menopause.
menopause.
So, what inspired you to write the book?
Well, I just felt like, as a therapist, and just seeing it just firsthand, just seeing my clients and just what they go through, and just looking at my mother,
Okay,
my aunts, my family, and just seeing what these women go through, and then not fully knowing how to really, what's the word I want to say,
hmm,
they just didn't have a plan. Because when you go to the doctor, they tell you, like myself, I use myself as an example. When I
right,
went to the doctor, my doctor told me that I was full on into menopause,
okay,
but she did not give me no instructions. She didn't give me anything to say, this can help you, besides wanting to put me on a hormonal pill. And I didn't want to go through that.
that's
I
right.
was already, I knew that as a therapist, that was going to alter my body. I know I was going to be up and down in my weight, and I didn't want that. So, I try to have that holistic conversation. And because that's not how they make their money, that conversation is not on the table. And I'm not going to say all doctors, you know, may not uh, encourage you to take a holistic approach, but not many of them, because again, that's not how they make their money. So I said, you know what? I just see women just, they're hot flashing through it. They're in agony. They're in pain.
I love that something you just said. I love
Yes,
that.
yes,
And if I may, unpack that a little bit,
sure.
because the book is about healing her. You
Yes,
said that they'll flash their way through it.
yes.
What is the difference between healing versus surviving through menopause?
Healing, taking that journey, because healing is a destination. And to that destination, where are you going? You want to go and you want to move and you want to thrive through healing ultimately, and so heal her menopause, which is simply saying, hey, sister, let us help you thrive through. Let us help you heal through
Okay.
because there's options. There is herbs. There are ways that can help you. It can minimize. You can get ahead of if you had the tools. How?
Hmm. Now, my book didn't come in time. I'm waiting for it to be shipped to me. And when you look at your first chapter, pull the
Mhm.
book out. Let's take a look at the cover because I know that you are superbly proud over
Mm,
the illustration of
mm,
this book. Talk
mm.
to us around just the illustration, and then we're going to take a look at the table of contents after.
Yes, yes, yes. So I chose this. I could have chose so many different pictures, but I wanted to choose queen.
Mm,
A queen. She's elegant. She's poised. And she is holding that fan. And you know that fan, this fan, the fan, the queens have taken the fan to a whole nother level. And
now
so I
you got me
did
thinking about that song. We don't
have
fans.
that. So, it made me want to do a whole scene with my queens and taking that photo shoot with them fans, heal her menopause. Listen,
I love
because
that.
we're going to take this fan to a whole nother level. But this isn't just a book. This isn't
Mm,
just a book. This is volume one because there's another volume coming.
okay.
But because menopause has so many layers, there's so many layers, so many layers. There's menopause, there's perimenopause. It's a first stage, the beginning stage, you're in the middle stage, and then you're at that age. So there are stages, there are levels to this because
Yes.
not all women suffer the same. And again, what's tricky about it is we tie it to, because you'll ask any woman around you, what do you know about menopause? And they'll say, girl, I get those hot flashes, I get those hot flashes. But what if you don't?
That
How do
part. Because I don't get hot flashes. I don't
how
get
do
hot,
you
even though 80% of women do. I
yeah,
don't, and you don't.
yep, and you don't. And so, some women will say, like I had a conversation with my sister-in-law, and she says, well, I get hot flashes, but other than that, I don't have no other symptoms. And I said, you do. You just haven't tied it to menopause. You
Agree.
know,
Agree.
menopause affects women's skin. You may think it's psoriasis and eczema. Your skin is going crazy. Your skin is out of control. You don't know what to do. You're back and forth to the dermatologist. Menopause. I had a client to come to me 2 weeks ago. She said, Lynette, my hair's falling out. I just went to go. She says, now my hair is thick and I know, I get some hair in the comb and everything like that. She said, but not like this. She said, I'm just freaking out because she's thinking she has cancer. And I said to her, and as she was explaining it to me, I told her, I said, I'm not a doctor and I don't treat, but did you have yourself checked for menopause?
That's right.
She jumped up off the table. She said, oh my God, oh my God. I never thought about that. I says, go have yourself checked, honey, because that's one of the signs. Women lose their hair, you know, bone pain. Are you in a lot of pain? Is your body aching a lot? That's menopause, part of menopause, so looking in places that you would not, you may think you have arthritis. Women,
Right.
a lot of my clients come, they think they have arthritis and they come back and they say, Lynette, menopause. I didn't know you can hurt so bad with menopause. So yes, it's deep, honey. It's deep.
Yeah. So, not to give away anything that's inside of the book, tell me,
Because they gotta go buy the book. You gotta go buy the book.
they absolutely have to buy it. I can't wait till mine get here in the mail. Um,
Ooh.
what chapter? I know all of it is your favorite,
Oh,
but is there one chapter that was such a delight as you were writing it that you
mm,
knew that you were releasing power to women?
mm.
Anything stands out?
all of them, all of them stand out to me, sister. But one of them that really stands out to me is how to use our self care journal. And this is just beautiful how to use it. But my most favorite ones are the recipes.
Okay.
And so, not just food and drink recipes, but the self-care recipes.
I love that you said that. It almost feels like we're always in tandem. So I was curious because we are women of faith.
Hmm.
What are your favorite holistic remedies um, that you would say that help to relieve menopause and play a role in healing her?
Well, my favorite for me was the affirmations
Mm,
because there is a certain type of stigma
okay.
because you feel like you failed your body.
Unpack that more. Tell me what you mean by that.
So, I mean, when I say you failed your body, because I'm a person, and maybe I can speak for some other women, I'm real on point when it comes to my health. I don't miss
Okay.
a doctor's appointment. I make sure that I'm on top of things. And, you know, as a therapist too, you're like, how did you miss this? You know, I felt like I spent so much time trying to connect the dots to even find out it was menopause in the first place. And then it was like after everything was said and done, I was like, Lynette, what took you so long? Like, we could have found this out a long time ago, and I was real hard on myself.
Okay.
And so I had to, when I was writing this book, I had to allow myself the grace and love. We have to allow our bodies. First of all, it don't start in our bodies first. It starts in our mind. allow your mind the grace and the love, you know, to first of all understand your diagnosis, understand and know that you did an amazing job. You got to the bottom of it.
Right.
And now that we know what the issue is, now we're going to love ourselves through this.
I love that. I love that because so many times, as women, especially for me, it feels like we're losing part of ourselves when
Hmm.
we go through menopause. And you mentioned something about like your body could be feeling like an imposter, like all of a sudden I have a different connection or impact or relationship with my body. I love that you talked about how it starts in the mind.
Yeah.
And I was watching one of the thought leaders that shared that neurologically, when women go through menopause, our brains are changed.
Yeah.
That devastated me a little bit because it started to connect and really resonate at home because I feel a little more forgetful. Um, I, 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 I hear thoughts that I can't find words for as quickly
Yeah.
as I used to. And while we are chasing the outward appearance of menopause and hot flashes and weight gain, what have you learned about what happens to the brain as a therapist?
Hmm. I mean, if, and especially if you are a person that's a perfectionist and you're hard on yourself anyway, it does a lot. It does a
Yeah.
lot because with menopause, you do suffer foggy brain. You know, women are irritable. You know,
Right.
you're not yourself. And I'll even talk to the sisters that are best friends. You have to, when your friends of is of a wonderful and tender age, you know, you'll even say, like in best friend relationships, like,
Okay.
honey, my sister is a whole mood, honey. But then you know what? Sometimes what we have to say is, you know what? I never stop to even think that she's going through the change.
That's right.
You know, and sometimes you might say, girl, you're a little moody today. You're a little something. We will get all in our feelings. And I'm like, wait a minute, girl, she going through menopause. I'm gonna have to give her a pass because, you know, we don't realize it because it's just a thing. And it's just a thing that we're taught. You just got to get through it. It's just a life change and it's just something to happen and you just got to deal with it. You know, no, heal her menopause.
I
You
love
don't just have to deal with it. You know, we have to learn what it is and we have to learn how to nurture it, learn how to take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hear you use the word deal with it, right? We don't have to. I love that from the title of the book, we get to heal with it, not
Yes,
deal with it, but heal
yes,
with it. I
yes.
remember going to the doctors when I first got my diagnosis that I was in full menopause, not partially, but full menopause. She said to me, your results are back. And she went over all the numbers. And then she said to me, you're in menopause. Why do they say that? because then it was followed by my question was, okay, when do I get out of it? And she said, you don't. You die with it. Then I said to her, why are you telling me that I am in it as if I come out of it? I don't
Mhm.
come out of it, I die with it. I have to say, our Western doctors need to, as a patient, show up a little different to
Yeah.
helping me understand that this is my life, my
Yes.
new life
My new
with
life.
menopause.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that Lynette, you and I are very careful about what we eat. And I
Hmm.
do believe that nutrition plays a role.
Very
How,
much.
how so?
Very much so. Because there are certain foods, and I'll ask you, is there certain foods that you can eat? And as soon as you eat that, here comes you just oh my goodness, you just feel some kind of a way, like, oh my goodness, whatever that was I just ate. And for some people, they can't pinpoint it. They
Right,
can't
right,
pinpoint
right.
it. Now, I know for me, that thing, I don't now, mind you, I said I don't get hot flashes. Now, I'll get a hot flash for me because I really don't get them. And if I do, it's every once in a while.
Okay.
And it's so much so until I don't know what it is when it hits me. And then it's like, oh, I guess that's what they call a hot flash. Because for me, it shows up, I get very nauseous.
mm,
I get very, very, very hot on the inside, not on the outside. And I get very, very, very nauseous. And so, like the room is spinning or something. And
okay.
so that's how it is for me. So that's why I say this thing affects women in such different ways.
Sure.
And one thing I don't like being nauseous.
Mm,
I think I would rather have the hot sweat than the nauseousness. And so food plays a very big part because it's hormonal.
okay.
So we have to choose foods, that are good, that's going to nurture our hormones, and stay away from the foods that's going to get our hormones all out of control. Because I already had menopause. So I don't want to mess with foods that's going to make this thing creep up and just be out of control. So, that knowing what foods to add and what foods to subtract, that's a game changer.
Uh, sounds like it.
And it's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. You know, we can thrive through this if we're willing to make some changes. Because once you are diagnosed with something, then it is going to be such a benefit for you to find out everything you need to know to make this situation better. You know, for me, drinking wine. Now, I love my Moscato, honey. I
You
love
are
a
right on.
good
That is your
glass.
sister's trigger. We are twins. So as
Okay.
soon as I take a sip of wine, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. As soon as I drink wine, oh wow, here we go. You know? And so I know now that certain types of wines get you
Mm-hmm,
going.
mm-hmm.
So I think that once you find what it is, then you could just start making some changes, And let me tell you something, it's not a death sentence,
No, it's not.
but it is definitely learning your body, giving yourself the grace and love to thrive through, and just really get serious about making some changes. And you can really minimize a lot of those symptoms.
I like that. You know, as I was listening to you, it felt like you're giving us as women the notion to create a menopause safe space, right?
Hmm.
Um, because I've been watching a lot of different uh, experts, especially when it comes to some of the menopause situations and conditions, and one of them is vaginal dryness.
Oh,
Now
yes.
they got all kinds of, of different things out
Situations
there,
for that.
right?
Yes.
So how do we create a safe space for women to share and heal, especially, you know, everybody in that area want to say that I'm always like the song, juicy,
Yeah.
juicy.
Woo, sister. Yes, hunty. Yes. Nobody wants to give up the oil. But, there are one thing I like about this is I created a whole community around this book.
That's good. That's
So
good.
it's not just the book. I mean, people can purchase the book, but I highly suggest that you purchase the package because it's a 45-minute coaching package. And what I do is I take your medical assessment, I go through that, and then there is a self care kit that comes with this gift bag.
Okay.
So you get all three of those, and then you can upgrade and add on. You can add on. And one of the add ons is you have the Heal Her Menopause private Facebook group.
Okay.
And because one of the things I say is that we don't have to heal alone.
Mm,
That's a safe space for women to go into that space, share, ask questions. They can go in there, they can post recipes, what they found that worked for them. That's just like with me and my weight loss journey. I have a Facebook page that I'm a part of the hospital, and I go on there and I read the inspirations. We put on their recipes. We share everything from us walking. How did because people fall off. They do.
sure. Sure.
Life happens, and you're hard on yourself because you said you was going to walk 3 days a week. You're not walking, for whatever reason. But in that space, we love you. In that space, we don't allow you to be hard on yourself.
That's right.
We encourage you to just go out there and just walk to the stop sign today. Don't try to walk a mile. Just walk the stop sign today. Get up tomorrow and do it again. And so we love each other back, you know and so that's what community is all about. you know um we share, and like I said, we share recipes, and everybody's dinner and lunch looks so good. And it's a wonderful thing to see. you know People lose weight, they swap out new clothes they bought, and it's a wonderful thing. I'm like, look at this thriving community. you know so that's what I really love about Heal Her Menopause. There's a thriving community that, you know maybe somebody's going through something in that group that
Right.
you're going through. Because we, like I said, we don't all go through the same. So maybe that person, you guys could make connection, and hook up and, really share, because not all want to share in that thread. So maybe you might be able to tag that person, and then you guys, who friends are birth, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I love about this whole package. You get to ask questions, because honestly, I can go to the doctor, but I find that they're not going to give me holistically what I want.
It's so good to have alternative
Yes.
sources.
Yeah.
And you're providing something that's natural,
Hmm.
primarily plant based, and
Yes.
allowing for us to know that we have power and control. I
Hmm.
love, love, love that healing happens in a community and
Yeah.
that sisterhood is the medicine that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yes.
So Lynette, you told us about the community. You shared with us that we could or schedule sessions. The viewers have an opportunity to reach out to schedule sessions. Could you give us some additional information on how do we find you? What's
Hmm.
the cost of the book? How
Hmm.
do we access Heal Her Menopause and become a part of that sisterhood community that you're talking about?
Well, you can go on to healhermenopause.com, and there you will find the book. You can purchase it by itself, or you can purchase the book and the self care kit, or you can purchase the whole bundle.
Okay.
So it is up to you. And you can also schedule that 45-minute session. So when you go on, you'll pay for the session. But once you pay for the session, that lets us know that you purchased the kit. And so all of that is right there on healhermenopause.com. And then once we reach out to you, then we will provide you with the link for the Facebook group. And we get started on your amazing journey. And I love that 45 minutes, because in that 45 minutes, women really get to open up. They get to share. They feel good, like, oh my God, I'm doing something for myself, and I'm not crazy. Oh, I thought I was losing my mind, you know?
Right.
And just to speak to, when you talked about that vaginal health, there's so many amazing herbs that can help women, just like we have herbs to help our mothers lactate, to bring forth that milk, you know. We have herbs to help bring forth, you know, get honey, get you sliding, backsliding
Get your
down.
juices flowing,
Yeah.
listening.
So,
Right.
that's why I said it's not, and to do it the natural way,
Right.
you know. I have so many women that, we address weight loss here too. I'm down now 45 pounds. And oh my God, thank
Yes.
you. And natural, and just being able to, because when you're going through menopause, you're on this roller coaster.
That's right. The
And
body changing.
yeah, and my sisters are in the gym. They are doing everything, right. But they just can't shake this weight. It goes up and down. So we talk about not only menopause, but the thyroid.
Mhm.
So
That
we get,
connection.
we get your mind going in the right direction. And what I like about this, it's a journey. So this isn't a book that you just read through and ride through. No, it has questions. It has things it wants you to do. There's workbook. There's games in here. Yes, games. So we could play the game of life up in here. So it's a really, really well thought out book. And because it has layers, I couldn't even put everything in this one. So I'm
Sure.
like, okay, let's keep on going to a volume two. But just building a community around this. And for all of my people that are in person and out of person, we even have the menopause wellness stretch class that's attached to this as well. And so, because we need movement, the womb needs movement. And so we said that we are going to thrive through, because how many women, are you stiff in the hips? You
That's
know,
right. That's right.
it really ain't no hip action going on. You
Maybe
ain't
work
really,
on that hula hoop again, like when you
yeah,
were 9 and 10
yeah.
years old
And
out
so,
there.
we want to feel sexy, again. We want to get because movement means everything. Not only does it wake up that lymphatic system, movement. You might be dry because ain't nothing moving. You got to get moving, moving. And as you move and open up everything and stretch everything, I find my lady say, "Oh," I said, "You ain't even got to tell me nothing because I already know what's happening down over there." So
Rediscover something. Rediscover something up there, huh?
so it's just that. So Jay, I can't wait for Heal Her Menopause to get on the road, and I just can't wait to see the success stories pour in. I can't
Yes.
wait to see just, happy women. I'm happy because it took me over 3 years to just get this out.
And
And
labor of
I
love.
just, in my waiting room of life, and you know what I'm talking about when I say
I
the waiting
sure
room.
do. I sure do.
I said, I'm just for every moment, you got to get this out because it's such a game changer. And women are looking for ways holistically to do things. They just don't know where. They just don't know where to go.
I applaud you for providing this much needed resource. So, sisters, and this is of all ages and every
Yep.
stage,
Yep.
we stand in solidarity with you.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of menopause,
Yep.
if you're in the stage before menopause, if
Mm-hmm.
you're in lifetime of menopause,
Mm-hmm.
just know that my sister,
Mm-hmm.
our therapist
Mm-hmm.
of Let's Talk Our Wellness Show, has
Mm-hmm.
provided not a book,
Mm-hmm.
but a life planning guide that will take you through all stages in
Mm-hmm.
community as a woman and allow for you to journey with joy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much, Lynette, for this resource. I'm so excited. I cannot wait until
Oh
my
God.
copy comes.
I'm so excited. And just one more thing I want to encourage too, because I didn't even touch on, and we'll do that later. I didn't even touch on, we know that when we reach our 40s, this is something that is inevitable, that is going to happen, and we can't stop it. But I also want to speak to those women that for some reason you have had to have a hysterectomy, and you've also been diagnosed with cancer,
Mm,
because cancer and hysterectomies can throw you into early menopause.
that's right.
And so, you know, we address that too in here, so that is
Get the
something.
book, get the book, get
Get the
the
book,
book.
get the book. Yes, 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 yes. And so listen, we're going to thrive through it. We're not going to flash through it. We're going to heal through it. We're going to thrive through it. You have an amazing community, and you have amazing, amazing, great healing information. So I am excited, Jay. I'm excited, and thank you for
Thank
such an
you.
incredible, incredible interview, on this topic. And it falls, and God could not have done it in such a time as this. Not our timing, because I say this book should have been out ages ago. But
Right, right.
God knows, He always knows the right time, because it
Amen.
was released in, and I didn't even think about it. It was released in Women's History Month. How about that? On the heels of Women's History Month. I'll take it. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Well,
Oh,
ladies, it's been a great hour of power hanging
mhm.
out with you all as
Yes,
we, one conversation at a time, help
yes.
us all, because we are women,
Mm.
know that our wellness matters, our mind, our bodies, and our souls. Any
Mhm.
closing thoughts from you, Lynette?
I'm just full. I just thank you, Lady J, for such an incredible, incredible time. It's always amazing spending it with you. And I just thank God for Let's Talk Her Wellness. Thank God for this platform
Amen.
that we can get on here, and there's a space just for us.
Safe
And
space. Yes.
I love it. I just love it. And so I just want every woman to like and share
Go
this
tell a
blog.
friend.
Yes, go tell a friend. Go on there and pre-order your book so you can get yours hot off the press. Okay. And until we see again, we want you to be well.
Be well, ladies.
Yes. Awesome.